Welcome to the 2024 St. Paul String Quartet Competition Virtual Interviews. My name is Ray Shows. I am first violinist of the Artaria String Quartet and founder and administrator of America's finest competition exclusively for string quartets. This is our 19th year of competitions, and today I have the privilege of introducing the ADEL Quartet from Texas. How are you all doing?
We're good.
Good. Well, we have an audience that's listening to you, and I want them to find out all about who you are, where you're from, and how you came to be in this competition. So we're going to start with, if maybe each of you could tell the audience your name, the instrument you're playing in the quartet, and where you actually go to school.
My name is Evelyn. I play the violin, and we all go to school at Westwood High School, by the way.
I'm Alex. I play the viola, and yeah, as she had said before, I also go to Westwood.
I'm Adriana, and I play the cello.
I'm Lerchen, and I also play the violin.
Great. Welcome to these interviews. Now, question number 2. So, each of you, please tell me how you got introduced and interested in playing in a string quartet. Let's start with Adriana.
So like a couple years ago, I went to Texas Strings Festival, and the first chamber music I played was with Evelyn, and then we were in a quartet together. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to quartet music.
Well, let's go to Evelyn then next. How did you get introduced to chamber music, please?
Well, before the camp, I saw a performance, and it was really good, and then that's like what started my interest. And then when I went to the camp and I got to play with Adriana and some other people, it was just like a whole new world.
Now, what was so good about that performance you saw, the initial performance? What attracted you to it?
It was just like how the members collaborated with each other. Like they were all very into the music and like giving each other like cues and just like seeing that interaction like in music was just very interesting to me, since I was so used to just watching solo performances.
Super. That's a great answer. Alex, is that how you call yourself? Alex. Tell us from the viola perspective how you got into chamber music.
So it's actually from my lesson teacher. So like when I was in 7th, 6th grade, like quite a long time ago, I was asked to fill in for a trio, so 2 violins and a cello. So it's basically from there I started my chamber journey.
And last but not least, Lerchen. How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce your name?
Lerchen.
Lerchen, okay.
Yeah. I have 2 older brothers who both play like string instruments, violin and cello. And for as long as I can remember, I've been just having fun making music with them. So
do they play in chamber music too still, or no?
They still play their instruments, and we still play together a lot. Yeah,
you still jam together. Oh, that's great, because every story is different. You never get the same story after all these years. So now, how did the 4 of you actually coalesce into a string quartet? How did that happen? Who wants to take that?
Well, first we met at Region, which is basically this like regional meetup of like students who audition into this orchestra in this area, and yeah, like we met each other, and then since we came from schools that go into the same high school, we just got together, and we were at similar levels, and it was just like really good for us, because at our school orchestras we don't necessarily get that high level of playing. So like coming together, like us being similar levels and everything, it just really worked out from there.
Right. Is it convenient that you guys are all at the same high school to rehearse? Is that a rhetorical question? When do you rehearse? When is the rehearsal place usually? Like, do you have a regular schedule, or is it like you just whenever you can find an hour here or there? How does it work for you?
So sometimes we rehearse at school because we just ask our conductor if we can just do it during the period. But mostly we just rotate around each of our houses. So like say Adriana hosts a rehearsal one day, and then I would host another one, and then Lerchen, and then Evelyn.
So in the Austin area, you live relatively close.
Yeah, we basically live like within 10 miles of each other.
Yeah. What grades are you in right now? What ages are we talking here?
We're all sophomores in high school.
Really? So you guys are youngins. I like that. Next question. What is the origin of your name? How did you come up with ADEL?
Well, in middle school when we first started, our violist was Dalton, and he moved to New Zealand. So then we were lazy and we just put the first letter of all of our names together to form Adele. And then when Alex joined us a year later, we just didn't change it because Adele just kind of has that ring to it.
Now your previous violist didn't move to New Zealand to get away from you guys, right? That was not.
We hope not.
Do you stay in contact with him, or is he pretty much off your grid now?
We have like a bit of contact with him, but like not much.
It's a long way. I know it's a long way there. So, okay. So yeah, in all the 19 years of the competition, we've never had a repeat naming, and lots of groups use their initials. That's not an uncommon thing. Naming a quartet is quite challenging, and when you see the other videos of the other groups that have actually spent the time and the effort to put a name together, it might be something in your future you might consider once you've evolved and figure out this is who we are, this is the kind of name we like. Or Adele is kind of cool too, and you can just keep that. Either way. All right, so let's talk about repertoire. So how did you come to the three pieces? Well, the first piece is obviously the Haydn Quartet, which is a required piece, but I'm curious how you chose that Haydn Quartet and the other two pieces that you came to. Let's start with Evelyn.
Okay. Well, first, for the American Quartet, we started playing that like way before the other two, and we actually started with the first movement, but then like we didn't really get into it, so we kind of gave up on that, and then we moved on to the finale, which is what we're playing for the competition. And then just last summer we were introduced to the Beethoven in the Ginastera, and basically our teacher just gave us like some different pieces to choose from, and then throughout the summer we listened to each one extensively, and then we decided that the Beethoven and the Ginastera were the best fit for us.
Excellent, excellent. So the Haydn Quartet, now there's a lot of Haydn quartets. I think there's like 65 official quartets that are listed under his name they're really his, that he composed. There's a lot to choose from there, and we've had groups choose Opus 1s all the way to Opus 77s. Now, which one, I'm not looking at the list right now, which one did you select again?
Haydn Bird.
Opus 33, number... You guys, at least you know it's a bird. This is a good thing. So was this Professor Fedkenauer that did that, or did you guys come to it? Or your high school teacher?
We started it with a previous teacher, so yeah, the previous teacher chose it for us.
You guys have a very interesting history and storyline. This is great. I can't wait to read the book. This is really good. So they're all great pieces. Is there an obvious reason in the bird why it was named the bird?
Well, we were discussing the character of the piece, and like the words that came to mind were like happy, light, pleasant, and it just reminds us of a bird in flight, like chirping, especially with the short notes and everything.
Yeah, so Haydn is really trying to capture some of the flora and fauna of sounds that he's listening to when he's outside or stuff like that. Super. Okay, now here's a fun question we ask everybody every year. So let's go with Alex. Tell us, please, your impression of how the quartet rehearses. What kind of style of rehearsal do you guys have each time?
So I would say we have both like a very serious and also extremely lighthearted at the same time. So like it's serious because we're like sometimes we're like super critical on things, so we like focus on details, and we spend like 10 minutes But then like it's usually 2 people, and the other 2 people just goof around doing like childish stuff. So like very serious and lighthearted at the same time.
Adriana, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So who's the most serious? Adriana, who's the most serious person in the group? Come on, who's the most serious?
I think it's Evelyn, because she's very focused during rehearsal.
Yeah, sounds like it. So Evelyn, who could use a little more seriousness in the group?